Hello and welcome to Apana Vayu class. Apana Vayu is the downward forcing energy. And when we're thinking about going deep into the Vayus, Apana Vayu is the first one to consider because regulates the basic functionalities of our body, which is sleep and elimination. If these two functionalities are not working very well, they are the first thing to address, both in our physical healing and in our spiritual path. So in this class today, we're focusing on forward folds, long exhalations, and those two things by nature allows us to feel much more calmer, which is the basic for rest and digest. Also, we're doing a little bit of Mula Bandha. Let's begin.
Find your way to lying down on your back. One way of feeling grounded is to lie down on the floor, on the earth, and lie on your back body. Hug the knees into the chest with the knees side by side and the feet side by side. And close your eyes and take a moment. Internalize your awareness and begin to focus on your breath. For Apana Vayu, you really want to bring the breath in your abdominal area. So feel now your belly breathing against your legs. It's almost like when you breathe in, the belly pushes the legs away. And as you breathe out, the belly contracts. Then bring your right hand on the right knee, left hand on the left knee. And on the inhale, move the knees away from your chest. And as you exhale, bring the knees towards your chest. Inhale, move the knees away and straighten your elbows. And breathe out, bend the elbows and bring the knees closer to you. Simple Apanasana. Inhale, move the knees away. The legs move slightly away from the belly. And breathe out, the legs come closer to the belly and to the chest. Do a couple more rounds on your own. Apanasana is lying down forward fold. And begin to warm up that area of the pelvic area, which is home for Apana Vayu. And hug the knees into the chest again. Pause. Relax your breath. Begin to give yourself permission to relax, to let it go. A big quality of Apana Vayu is to let it go, to release. Begin to welcome this internal feeling of softness. Beautiful. Roll over to your right side and make your way to hands and knees on a tabletop position. Organize your hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. And tuck your toes, and when you breathe out, lift your hips high in downward facing dog. On the inhale, drop the knees again, look down. And breathe out, push your hands on the floor and lift your hips as high as you can. Inhale, tabletop position. Drop the knees carefully. And breathe out slowly, hips high, downward dog. Engage your belly muscles. Inhale, drop the knees and relax the belly. And on the exhale, downward facing dog. Contract the belly. One more time. Breathe and move in the same rhythm. When you get into downward dog again, hold downward dog steady. Real important in Apana class, moon class, to welcome stillness. Life is so busy, so take your time now to don't rush. Spread your fingers firmly on the floor and push the mat like you're trying to push the mat away from you. If you need, you can bend the knees slightly to protect the lower back. Now look towards your pelvic area and lift your hips as high as you can. Now hold this posture for some deep, slow abdominal breaths. And like you're walking and meditating, consciously step your feet at the front of your mat, feet hip distance apart. Inhale, halfway lift. Breathe out, forward fold. Bow the head. Touch the hands on the hips and inhale with a straight spine, come up to stand. When you breathe out, release your hands and take a moment in mountain pose, Tadasana. Feel your feet firmly connecting to the ground, connecting to the earth. And you step your left foot back, left foot 45 degrees angle, hands on the hips, and you square the hips to the front of your mat. Right hand on the sacrum, palm facing backwards, and left arm over the head. When you breathe out again, forward fold with a long spine. Keep your left arm extended. Inhale, flat back, come up. Lead with your left thumb. And go again. Slow breath out and forward fold. Dynamic pyramid posture. Firm your belly when you breathe out. Inhale, come up. Keep breathing in all the way until you're vertical. And breathe out for 6 counts. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, come up for 4, 2, 3, all the way up. 4. Now breathe out for 7. Count yourself. The inhale remains 4. One more round. Exhale for 8 if it's possible. If 8 is too much, do 6 or 7. It's okay. And when you arrive down there in pyramid pose, stay there. Release both hands on the floor and inhale, come to a halfway lift. And breathe out, forward fold. You can rest both hands next to your right foot, or you can use blocks underneath the hands. Square the hips. And draw the chin into the throat. Chin into the throat, especially in forward fold postures. It will give an extra sense of internalizing and calming the mind. Now you don't have to count your breath, just intuitively exhale longer. 6 to 8. You just feel the exhalation extending. Touch your hands on the hips, and on the next inhale, come up to stand. Exhale, release your arms down. Pause, turn your feet parallel on a wide stance. Nice. You're already going to start to feel a little bit more grounded. Now turn your feet to the back of your mat and align your legs again to the other side. Left hand on the sacrum, right arm over the head. And when you breathe out, forward fold over your left leg. With a flat back, inhale, come up. And as you breathe out, forward fold, draw your left hip back. And when you breathe out, firm your belly muscles. Inhale, come up, straight spine. And as you breathe out, count 6 counts. Inhale to come up is 4. So it's shorter, but it's still a complete full breath in. And then breathe out now is 7, which is going to be slower. After that, do one more round. Inhale 4, exhale 8. When you finish this round, release both hands to the floor and inhale, come to halfway lift. Breathe out and forward fold over the left leg and hold pyramid pose, Parsvottanasana. Breathe. Eyes are steady. Breath location is close to the belly area. This compression on your pelvic floor, which is home for Apana Vayu, combining with a calm, slow breathing. It is medicine for the modern mind, especially if you're a busy person. This is a great idea to do this posture like every day. Touch your hands on the hips, and on the next inhale, come up to stand. Turn your feet parallel again to each other, and as you breathe out, release your hands. Take a moment and notice already something is start to change in the body, in the mind. My goal for you in this class is that gradually you feel more and more connected to the earth, a sense of grounding to the floor and releasing. So bring your hands now underneath your butt, close to your hamstrings. And just make sure your toes are slightly turning inwards. On your next breath out, forward fold all the way down and slide the hands at the backs of your legs. Touch your ankles or calves. And when you breathe in, flat back, come up and slide your hands behind the legs. Breathe out, forward fold, and go all the way down again. Repeat. Make sure that you are syncing the breath and the movement of the body in the same rhythm. Couple more rounds. And then when you forward fold again, stay on the wide leg forward fold. You can keep your hands behind your ankles, calves, or even place the hands on the floor. Stretch the crown of the head towards the ground. And if your hamstrings or lower back is too tight, I'd suggest you to bend the knees slightly. Chest open, with the shoulders away from the ears. Now find a steady position for the eyes. And control your breath in this way. Inhale natural. Exhale a little slower. And pause your breath out 1 or 2 counts at the end of the exhale. I think at this point of the class, it's important to reinforce that this type of class, it's not a working out, it's more like a working in. As well as we are working on muscles and bones, also we are working with our energy and how we feel. Relax your breath. Bring your hands under the shoulders. Inhale, come to a halfway lift. Breathe out, hands on the hips. Inhale, flat back, stand up. And as you breathe out, turn your feet to the front of your mat and take a moment in, mountain pose. Stand at the front of the mat and feel like a wave of energy is washing over the body. And this is going to be like a test for your groundness. With your feet hip distance apart, raise the arms parallel to the shoulders in front of you. Come high up on your heels, on your tippy toes, and sit back in chair pose, balancing on your tippy toes. Hips back, knees back, look forward, breathe. This posture have a very different feeling as the forward folds. It's like a test for your stability. Inhale, come up. Exhale, release your heels and your arms down. Let it go. No judgments. Now we're going to do some other chair postures to actually focus more on hip opening. Bring your right foot a little bit higher than the left knee and make like a figure 4 with your legs. Flex your right toes and sit back in one leg chair. Hands on the heart center and look forward. Sit back more. Look forward with your chin slightly tucked in so the back of your neck feels long. Now look to one steady point. Breathe. And on the next inhale, come up. Exhale, release your legs and arms. Other side. Left foot a little bit higher than the right knee. Flex your left toes. And slowly sit back in chair pose. Hands on the heart center. Prayer position. Find your stillness. And breathe calmly. Great work. Inhale, come up slowly. Exhale, release the hands and the legs. Pause, look forward. Let it pass. All right, Ardha Baddha Padmasana. I'll turn towards you to mirror you. And you can make a figure 4 like we did just before and sit in chair. That is kind of like the preparation. Or if you're more flexible, bring your right foot on your left hip socket and make like a half lotus. If you're doing that variation, you can bring the right hand on a prayer and left hand stays on the foot. Or you can bind your right arm around. Either way. I'm going to do the prayer version. If you're doing the half lotus one, you can forward fold all the way down. If you're not doing the half lotus, then you stay sitting in chair. When you forward fold, you can keep the hand binding the foot or release both hands down to the floor. Your standing leg is slightly bent. It's a super deep posture and it's compressing again the area of the pelvic floor, pelvic area, which is home for Apana. This is really support the elimination, the digestion. All right, carefully, you can hold on to the foot again, bring your hand in prayer and inhale, come up. And breathe out to release the legs and arms. Pause. Take a moment. Other side. So now you bring your left foot in figure 4 for like the chair variation. Or you bring your left foot on your hip socket. So either way, on the chair, remember you don't forward fold, you stay here. But if you go into the lotus, then you have a couple different variations. Right hand can hold the foot and left hand in prayer. Or left arm binds around and the right hand goes in prayer. So if you're doing the half lotus, you're welcome to forward fold. Go slow. And I like to release both hands on the floor. When I get there, I feel more stable. breathe. To come back up is super carefully. So make your way the same way you went down. Right hand touch the foot, left hand in prayer on the heart, flat back and inhale, come up. Exhale, release the leg and the hands. Take a moment. You feel like a different sensation in your hips. That compression on the hips supports the sense of releasing and elimination. So, turn your feet to the front of your mat. Open your feet mat distance apart. Hands on the heart. Good old squat position. Sit down and place your elbows on your inner knees. Open the chest forward. If your heels come off the floor and you can't have your feet flat, it's okay. Optional to roll a blanket and place that blanket underneath your heels. Now try to keep your spine straight. Look slightly down. Close your eyes. And drop your breath on the lower part of your belly, on the pelvic bowl. Ayurveda, which is the science sister of Tantra and Yoga, says that squat position is really necessary, really important for the physical elimination. We can see why. Couple more breaths. And then carefully release the hands to the floor and step back in downward facing dog. Stretch your legs out. Take a couple smooth, steady breaths. And on your next inhale, drop the knees on the floor, tabletop. And as you breathe out, gracefully sit back in child's pose. Prepare for chakra vakasana. So on the inhale, you come up to tabletop again, look down. And as you breathe out, to slowly sit back in child's pose. And at the end of your breath out, activate the pelvic floor. Inhale, come up to tabletop, relax the pelvic floor. And exhale, slowly sit back. At the end of your breath out, the perineal wall lift up. Relax the perineal wall and inhale, come back up to tabletop position. Relax the belly, look down and breathe out methodically. And at the end of the breath out, the pelvic floor is slightly lift. And now stay in child's pose and continue that internal work without moving up and down. Inhale is sort of natural, the belly relaxes. And as you breathe out, the belly contracts. And if you are fully exhaling, by default, Mula Bandha, the pelvic area, perineal wall, will slightly lift. Continue this internal work. And you will notice that Mula Bandha gives you the awareness of holding on and releasing. Holding on and releasing, which is a very important power to have. to know when it's important to hold on to something that is necessary in life and when is the time to let that go. There is some psychological studies that actually says Mula Bandha, it's related to the part of the mind that can actually understand that process. Now allow your breath to relax and make your way to lying down on your belly, lying down on your tummy. Prepare for Shalabhasana. When we talk about the stabilization, this is one of the key postures for lower back stabilization. Place your hands on your lower back with your palms facing up and touch the forehead on the floor. When you breathe in, come into a gentle back bend and sweep your right arm forward. When you breathe out, sweep the right arm back and place your right ear on the floor. Inhale, gentle back bend and sweep your left arm forward. Breathe out, sweep your left hand back and place your left ear on the floor. Inhale, right arm and left leg. Exhale, release, right ear on the floor. Inhale, left arm and right leg. Exhale, release, and left ear on the floor. Inhale, right arm, left leg, back bend. Exhale, sweep the arm, release the leg, and right ear down. Inhale, left arm, right leg, back bend. Exhale, release, left ear on the floor. Repeat. When we do alternate arms and legs, it corrects the imbalances of the lower back. And do one more full round. Create a strong lower back. When you finish the left arm, release down to the floor. Relax your hands next to your hips. And pause. Turn your head to the other side. And feel a sense of letting go, of surrendering. Okay. And then turn around and lie down on your back. Lie on your back body, just as you are, just flip around. Bend your knees, place your feet on the floor. And then bring your right foot on a figure 4. So right foot touch a little bit higher than the left knee. And then bring your right hand in between the legs and interlace your fingers behind the left knee. I like to flex the right foot to protect the right knee. And then draw the knee towards your chest. If you can't reach behind the left hamstring, then you can use a strap or something to grab on. Lengthen the back of your neck and relax the shoulders down. I think modern yoga called this posture like eye of the needle and resembles that shape we did when we were standing up earlier. Okay. And as you are, just release your hands and now cross your legs with the right leg on top. And then drop your knees all the way over to your left side. Turn your head to the right. And try to keep your right shoulder on the floor. If you feel the backs of your right shoulder lifting, then use like a bolster or a pillow underneath the knees. And if crossing the leg is too much, then uncross them. Keep the knees side by side. Practice belly breathing. The next inhale, bring the legs back to center. And exhale, release your legs, feet side by side, pause. Bring your hands around your belly. Take a breath. Other side. So now bring your left foot a little bit higher than the right knee and make a figure 4 with your legs. Then draw the right knee in and place your left hand in between the legs and then interlace your fingers behind the right leg. Flex your feet, shoulders down, and you can use your arm strength to determine how much you want to pull the knee towards your chest. You choose your intensity. Breathe. The belly breath consciously is continuous. Even though sometimes I don't mention to you, I'm hoping at this point you are doing it sort of naturally. And from here, release your hands, cross your legs, left leg on top, and drop your knees to your right side. Open the arms wide to the side. Sorry, I forgot to mention on the other side, you can keep your right hand on top of the left knee to keep the leg down. Just make sure the backs of your left shoulder now is not lifting off the floor. If it happens, put a prop underneath the knees. Also, sometimes before we twist into this posture, you might want to readjust your hips and push the hips a little bit more to the opposite side, but you don't have to. It is a posture that often you can feel intuitively how the spine feels when you twist, and then you can move a little bit if you need it. Close your eyes. Stay in your body. On the next inhale, come back to center. Exhale, release the legs. Hands on the belly. Deep breath. Nice. And roll over to your right side. Come up to seat. I know you're sort of ready for Shavasana, but now we have our most important postures. Sit up. If you round in the lower back when you sit, then grab a blanket or something to put underneath your butt. Extend both legs forwards. And then keep your right leg straight. Bend your left knee out to the side. I'm going to mirror you because it's easier for you in case you need to see it. You're welcome to use a strap in here to grab onto the foot. So you can stay with your left knee bent in Janushirshasana, or you bring your left foot in a half lotus like we did standing earlier, and bind the right arm around and grab your toes. And then inhale with the arm up and forward fold. But you're welcome to keep the foot on the floor, especially if you have any injury. And then both hands grab the foot if you're doing Janushirshasana. So choose which one you want to do, or with your right foot on the hip or right foot on the floor. Inhale, lift one or both arms up, it depends what you're doing. And exhale, forward fold. Keep your chest moving forwards to encourage the lower back to be long. Gently close the eyes. And again, you don't have to count the breath, but intuitively feel a long exhalation with a subtle pause at the end of the breath out. And then see if you can allow Mula Bandha to happen spontaneously. As you fully exhale, empty the air, pause the breath out, feel a gentle lift on your perineal area. And then you relax that area before you breathing again. Start to notice that relationship in between holding on to what matters, to what's important, and letting go what you need to release. On your next inhale, come back up to seat. When you breathe out, release the hands and release the top leg if you have lotus. Keep your eyes closed and pausing here. Notice a wave of energy washing over you, washing towards the earth. Apana Vayu. And switch the legs. Now the left leg stretches forwards and you bend the left knee in and to the side. If you're more flexible, go into half lotus. If you have lotus, wrap the arm around and grab onto the toes. Remember, you can keep the foot on the floor. It's totally okay. Inhale, lift the left arm up, or if you in Janu Shirshasana, you lift both arms up. Breathe out, grab onto the foot or use a strap. You can inhale, lengthen the spine again, and exhale, fold, stay in the posture. Chinning to the throat, and again, naturally feel that breath. At this point, you don't have to try it too hard. Inhale is natural. Exhale is slower. At the end of the breath out, 1 or 2 counts, pause in stillness with a gentle application of Mula Bandha, the root lock. Relax your breath. And on the next inhale, come back up to sit vertical. Breathe out to stay here as you release the arms and leg. Pause. Energy is moving downwards. And to finish off with the body symmetrical, bring the soles of your feet to touch for Baddha Konasana. Interlace your fingers in front of the toes or use a strap. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And exhale, bend the elbows down and forward fold. Move the collarbones forward and draw the chin slightly in. Spine is straight. As you look down, close the eyes. There is a certain effort to be in this position with the spine straight. But at this point, I'll invite you to internally surrender. To begin to release internal resistance by allowing the breath to flow smoothly. On your next inhale, make your way to seat. Breathe out and relax here for a moment. And you are pretty much ready for Shavasana. Just lie down on your back and we're going to do one little cheeky bridge posture to reset the lower back. So lie on your back, bend the knees, place your feet on the floor with your feet hip distance apart. Turn your palms facing downwards. And then lift your hips into bridge pose, but only go like a halfway. And as you breathe out, lower down carefully. Do it again. Inhale, lift your hips. Let's say like 70% of your capacity. And breathe out, lower down. Just a couple more rounds. This is to reset the sacrum for the amount of 4 folds we did. Nice. And then release down the hips. Give the knees a gentle hugging. And then find Shavasana. Take a rest. If you want a more comfort, use a bolster or something underneath the knees. Open the feet hip distance apart or a little wider than hip width apart. You can use a blanket or something on your belly for some extra groundness. Release the arms next to the body and turn your palms facing upwards. You're also welcome to cover your eyes. Relax internally. And for a moment, put your thoughts, your emotions and feelings into breathing. And every time you breathe out, let them go. For now. Every time you exhale, you relax a little bit deeper. Slowly come back and feel the body breathing again. Apply some gentle movements in the body, like toes and fingers. You can move the head a little bit side to side. Then stretch the arms over the head, lengthen the spine. Bend your knees and roll over to the right side on a fetal position. Stay on a fetal position with the eyes closed, body soft, and remember that deep rest. Then you slowly make your way up to seat, and we are ready for meditation. So grab your meditation prop, sit in a way that's comfortable to you. You can sit on a blanket, on a bolster. Cross your legs in Sukhasana, or place the right heel on the perineum with the left foot in the front for Siddhasana. Rest the hands on the knees or the thighs. Straight spine, and close the eyes. Remain with the lips closed and focus only in breathing through the nostrils, in and out. Today, the pranayama work is a focus on a simple version of 4-part ratio for moon pranayama. To begin with, the inhale is 6 and exhale is 6. I will count the first rounds. So you start with a full breath out, then inhale for 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and breathe out for 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Again, inhale for 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and breathe out for 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Count yourself. Inhale 6, exhale 6. More or less 3 more rounds. Now for the next rounds, inhale is 6 and exhale remains 6. And at the end of the breath out, hold the breath out for 4 counts. Hold the breath with no straining. Inhale 6, exhale is 6, and then a gentle pause on the breath out for more or less 4 counts. 6, 6, 4. Please continue. When the mind tells you to stop counting the breath, or maybe you find yourself distracted, use the breath to tame the mind, to become more focused. Please do one more round. Now relax your breath. Let it become natural. With the next in-breath, sense all of your energies from the thoughts, emotions, feelings, moving from the top of the head down towards the base of the spine. And hold the breath in gently and sense all these energies collecting and kind of like marinating at the base of the spine. And as you breathe out, sense that you're releasing all the toxins and negativity towards the core of the planet. With the inhalation, sense all of your collective energy from thoughts, emotions, feelings, moving from the top of the head slowly down to the base of the spine as you breathe in. Then hold the breath in and see or feel all these energies at the base of the spine with a mental application of Mula Bandha, like you holding them a little bit in that area. And when you breathe out, sense that you are releasing all the ones that no longer serves you. Continue this. Inhale, the energies and thoughts move from the top of the head down to the base of the spine. Gently hold the breath in and feel all those stuff to be at the base of the spine with a gentle mental application of Mula Bandha. And then when you exhale, sense that you are releasing all the negativity, toxicity towards the core of the planet. Please continue. And then allow the breath to dissolve and become quieter. Bring your awareness to the base of the spine at the Muladhara chakra. In that area, see or feel a blue downward facing triangle at the Muladhara chakra. Blue downward facing triangle at the base of the spine. You can see, hear, or sense the essence of Apana Vayu as bolts of blue lightning shooting down into the center of the earth from the blue downward facing triangle. Blue lightning shooting towards the center of the planet from the downward facing triangle. Feel that you are releasing more and more towards the center of the planet anything that no longer serves you. Finally, let go of the internal work or kriya and sense your body like an incredible stable column, a pillar of uprightness and stability, with the mind completely free of negativity or distractions. And bring the awareness to the navel center or to the third eye. Sense which one you can feel or resonate more at this point, navel or third eye. And meditate on the mantra Om pulsating in that location, like Om, Om, Om. And you can stay here enjoying this deep state of meditation. And when you're ready, bring yourself back out slowly.